Hey y'all, it's Sierra, aka Capricorn Moon Goddess, back with another video for you all. This is going to be a video on spiritual buzzwords. Okay, so I'm going to try to do these videos more often where we just talk about some of the buzzwords that we hear throughout the spiritual community to be able to understand where those words come from and the importance of those words. I feel like in the spiritual community, a lot of people are regurgitating certain words that they hear, and they may have like a surface level understanding of it, but they don't fully understand what it means. So therefore they're not able to fully leverage it to their benefit because um they basically are just going off of what other people say. Okay. So a lot of this stuff isn't being fully explained. People are just saying words that they're hearing. Okay. So you may have heard the terms vibration or frequency. I'm going to talk about vibrational frequency. Sometimes they are used separately. Sometimes they are used together in the phrase vibrational frequency, but a lot of people think they are interchangeable, and they are not interchangeable. So they don't mean the exact same thing. When you think about the word vibration, vibration is movement, okay? And when you think about the word of frequency, frequency is time, the amount of times something is happening. Okay. When we use vibration and frequency together, we are talking about the number of times something vibrates, or the number of time particles vibrate. Okay. So if you think of it that way, frequency is related to time. We also will get speed mixed up with frequency also. So we may think frequency is how fast or slow something is going. So remember, frequency is the number of vibrations that a particle makes within a certain amount of time. The vibration is the movement, and then the speed is how far the vibration travels within that frequency or within that unit of time. So vibration, movement, frequency is the number of vibrations, speed is how far the vibration travels. Both frequency and speed have to do with time. Okay. So hopefully that made it a little bit more clear and not more confusing, because it can be hard to explain this kind of stuff. So, why do we care about vibrational frequency in the spiritual community? That's because everything is vibrating. Even if something appears to be still, it is moving. Every single thing has a vibration. We also learned the law of conservation of energy. I think that's what it's called, where it's the one where it's saying energy is neither created nor destroyed. It's basically just transferred or transformed. That's where you can get into transmutation, transforming energy, okay? Using it to work for you and not against you. But we're not going into transmutation right now. We'll do that in another video. But back to vibrations, everything has a vibration, and therefore everything has a frequency, including our bodies. We have electricity within our body. So our bodies are actually electric, and we can actually measure the frequencies in our bodies. So there are scientific studies that show the thoughts that we have can affect our frequency. And they use hertz to measure frequency. So if you've ever heard of hertz, which is Hertz, okay, that is used to measure frequency. So that's why you see singing bowls will have a certain hertz number. Essential oils have a certain hertz number, okay? Because you can buy different instruments, tuning forks, things of that nature that vibrate a certain way and that vibrate basically a certain amount of times, okay, before it completely becomes still, even though nothing is truly still, before it comes still to our eyes, okay, you will find that those things can be purchased based on what their hertz measurements are. And that's because frequency is measured in hertz. So science have created tools to measure the hertz in our body, the frequency. And they noticed that when people were thinking negative thoughts, which would be anxiety, pessimism, lower vibrational type of things, right? The frequencies or the frequency measurements within their bodies were lower. When they were thinking positive thoughts, happy thoughts, higher vibrational thoughts, right? The frequency readings were higher. So that shows there is a connection between our thoughts and the rate at which our bodies vibrate or our frequency. This is sort of similar to those water studies where when you speak to the water, depending on what you say, it can affect the molecules in the water. We'll talk about that in a different video also. But just keep in mind our bodies are mostly water. So if our thoughts and if the words we say speak out loud can affect water, that means the words that we speak out loud can affect our bodies. So the words that we speak out loud can affect our bodies because of the water. And then our thoughts, so we ain't even got to say it out loud, just our thoughts can affect our vibrational frequency. So that is why vibrational frequency is important. This goes hand in hand with manifestation because if there's certain things that you want to manifest, more than likely those things are high vibrational things. Those things are on a high frequency. So if you want to be in alignment with those things to be able to attract those things, you want to have a high frequency output as well. That's where the as within, so without, as above, so below, as within, so without. So whatever you're thinking, you're going to see that actualize because you're in alignment with that particular thing that actually manifested physically. This is why our subconscious is important, our shadow work is important. Because with our subconscious, there's things going on in the background that we may not be aware of as far as thought process and the way that we react to things and feel about things. There may be some things that are affecting the way that we think that we're not aware of, or we may be partially aware of it, but not fully aware. So that's why you want to do shadow work. That's why you want to sit with yourself. That's why you want to be self aware. If you notice that you're a pessimistic person and you're always thinking negatively all the time, it's time to explore that. I like to say address, not suppress, because you can't always just, oh, I'm thinking a bad thought. Let me get that out of my mind and think about something else. If you see that keep coming up over and over again, you need to explore why you keep having that thought, because it's coming from your subconscious. There's something else there that is the root cause of that particular thought that you keep having. So, in order to stop having them, you need to address the root cause. Okay, because there's no telling how long it's been in your subconscious, but it's just now coming up where you're realizing it. The more we work on our subconscious mind by doing things like affirmations work because again, our thoughts and our words can affect our vibrational frequency. And it's also retraining our subconscious mind to not default to negativity. So think of it that way. Understanding how things work on a realistic level can help you a lot in the spiritual world because it's sometimes a lot of the stuff we hear in the spiritual world is hard to imagine being real. But when we break down some of these words into the scientific definitions or the practical sense, it makes it easier for us to understand why it is possible to do some of the things we're able to do in the spiritual community. Why is it possible to be able to manifest the things that we don't? Well, we're always vibrating. So we're always in alignment with some kind of frequency. Whether or not that's a high frequency or low one depends on you and your thoughts. So you can be manifesting things you don't want, and you can be manifesting things you do want. So that's why you hear people talking about vibration a lot and wanting to be on a higher vibration, wanting to have be in alignment with the frequency, the same frequency of the things that you actually want. It makes it easier for you to basically be in alignment with what you want. Now, you do want to be practical. You want to take the practical steps to prepare for what you want. Okay, there's still things that need to be done on the physical realm. Like, I'm not just talking about affirmations and that stuff. I'm talking about the physical realm. If there's certain things you have to check off, certain boxes you have to check off, do that stuff so you can be in alignment with what you want. We also have an energetic body, which you may hear being referred to as the subtle body. Okay, so there's people that believe that we have a invisible field, like a force field around our bodies that we can't see. However, just because we can't see it doesn't mean it's not affecting us. So that is referred to as the subtle body. And our energetic body can affect our physical body, which means it can affect our health. So you also want to be self-aware of what your frequency is, what kind of thoughts you're having, because not only can it hinder you from being able to manifest the things that you want if you're coming from a negative space, it can also make you sick. And we all know that stress make you sick. We all know when people are break up the word disease, dis-ease. Okay, so there's a lot of this stuff we know, we just haven't connected the dots. So that is the spiritual significance of vibrational frequency. When you hear all is mental, okay, stuff like that, we're talking about vibrational frequency, because again, it starts with our thoughts, and then our thoughts kind of control what we say. We know our thoughts and our words affect our frequency. So it starts with us. If we have some trauma somewhere, we need to address it. First, we need to become aware of it. So we need to do things to become more self-aware, do meditation, do readings on ourselves, get readings from trusted sources, just paying attention to our mindset when certain things are happening. What are we thinking before those things happen? Are we noticing a pattern? If certain good things are happening, how are we feeling? Were we just feeling grateful that day, and then you just woke up grateful and a bunch of great things started happening? You might see some coincidences or correlations, all of that. So, anyways, that is pretty much it, y'all. I am under the influence of Benadryl, so I don't know why I decided to do this video. So, if I sound slow, off, incomplete thoughts, all that, my bad, y'all. I am like basically drugged up right now with the Benadryl. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and end this now. That is my take on why vibrational frequency is significant in the spiritual community. If you have anything to add to that, please feel free to leave it in the comment section. And thank you for taking the time to listen. And I hope you have a great rest of your night or day, whatever time you're watching this. Bye.